And once again, it doesn't freeze. I think we might have just inadvertently cured that problem. It's Friday. It's rolled around again. It's that man again. It's time for some beer. Cheers, everyone. And let's just address the lighting issue. I set this up earlier and somehow or other the lighting conditions have changed, so just bear with me. Let's just back that off a little, shall we? That's a bit better. And let's also address the the question of what happened to my head. Many years ago, I used to get a sneeze, and I would sneeze, and that would be it, and my body had expelled whatever foreign objects were in the nasal passage, and that would be it. But these days, I don't just do that. I get sneezes like other people get hiccups these days, and it can happen at any moment. There's a video going out, might even have already gone out, where there's some really rough edits in it because I had a sneezing fit whilst filming the video. Well, I had a sneezing fit this morning whilst shaving my head, and there was blood, and there was it's just a tiny little nick with the razor, but it's, for some reason, when it happens up here, it bleeds more like a bloody amputation. So hence why I'm kind of all patched up on my head. Yes. There you go. So I just thought I'd get that out of the way before we get on. I'm probably, for latecomers, I'm probably going to have to explain it again in the chat, later on. But that's what happened. And I said, oh, gosh and damn, dearie me, fiddlesticks and drat. Or, words to that effect. It was, I turned the air blue, it has to be said. But there you go. So anyway, it's Friday. It's beer o'clock time once again, and every Friday I always get this same sort of sense of deja vu. On a Monday, Friday always seems such a long time away, and then as I'm sat here watching the countdown to hit the go live button, it always just seems like last Friday was about 5 minutes ago. So there you go. Anyway, let's have a quick look in the chat and see who we've got, and more importantly, who's teacher's pet and who was first in. Dave Fiendish first in, then Rent to Kill, there's Theme Tunes, Mark Kerno, all the early birds, Timbo, Peter Nicholson, there's Anton, Malcolm Spillett, Grandpa Joe, as always, wishing us, I'll put him up on screen, wishing us all the best as you enter the chat today. Please give him a thumbs up and consider his Tier 2 Patreon. Oh, thank you for mentioning that, Joe. Have a happy and safe weekend. Yes, I have got this Tier 2 Patreon thing where basically you get an extra, at the moment, weekly video up there, and they usually go up on a Sunday and a twice monthly hangout with me and the other chaps. And it's the hangout is something on Zoom. It's something that I really look forward to. We've done, I think, 3 of them now, and it's just like a sort of a. We're starting to call it the circle of trust, where anything can be said. So if you want to know what gets said in the circle of trust, then sign up. Anyway, there's Cylon Hybrid asking what's the weather like in Redcar today. Bright and sunny, but with a bit of a chill in the air. Then Johnny Random, Tom Clark, there's Craig Stamen, and there's Ian Clark, and Paul Trainer. Paul Trainer, you generous soul, sir. Thank you very much. I will put that towards something very useful, beer. Then there's Terry Day, and Terry, what you saying there, mate? I love the What Chords Can I Use video. Really useful information, simply explained. Looking forward to more of the same. Yeah, there's a few more of those coming yet. Not quite sure because I'm still in the process of, planning them out. But, if you enjoyed that, then there's definitely more to come. There's PFY Guitars, Peter Collins, Chip Young, who's on holiday in Northern Ireland, so may not make the live stream. Well, if you're watching on Catch Up, and to anyone else watching on Catch Up, thank you so much. And we've got Malcolm Thompson, Rubbish Guitar Bloke, David James, Dr. Gomez 1, Steve Entwistle, John Ross, Jed Ellis, Vincent Brennan as well. There's Ben Allmark and my old pal from the Netherlands. Edwin Toonan saying greetings from sunny Amsterdam. There's Luke's in as well, and another one from Grandpa Joe here saying the AgriJag video was super cool. Shows his excellent work. Please consider asking for an in-shop walkthrough and an interview with James. That's a brilliant idea. I'll put that to him. I know he's perhaps a little bit, I don't want to say shy, but maybe, perhaps might be a little bit, I don't know. James, if you're watching, if you're up for that, just give us a shout out in the chat. But, I know he perhaps is a little bit shy. So I'll put it to him and see what he says. Then we've got Peter Goddard and said you already haven't, mate. There's, who else have we got? We've got Frank Bolam, Deco Dude, Heidi and Poppy's World, Johnny D is in, and so is Farjon, and, David Evans is there too. Malcolm Spillett as well, and Austin Barrett is in, and Rexamatic, greetings from Phoenix, out on the bike this morning. And we've got Thomas Mulvaney saying, I'll have to miss the live stream due to my work situation, but I'll enjoy the replay tonight with several beverages. Well, you just do that, mate. As I say, happy weekend to anyone who's watching on Catch Up or whatever time of the week it is. It's the weekend here. And if you're watching on Catch Up and it's Monday or Tuesday or something, then have a beer and pretend it's the weekend. We can all do that. I do that every bloody night of the week, to be honest with you. Then we got Calby and the Rocco Cat, Michael Purcell and Chris Otterwell and Russell Gibson. There's 60s Man and who else we got? We got Cal Texper, Jamal123, Colin Falcon, Martin Bix, and Andy Nisbet. John Channing is in, and Chip Young's back. Hello, mate. that was quick. We've got Stevie Mack, Peter Williamson, Blue Sofa Songs, sometimes dim never thin. My old mucker there, Steve Cassidy Guitar. Go and watch his videos straight after this live stream and check out what he's... I think you got an unboxing tonight, haven't you? I was watching your live thing on Catch Up today as I was sat downstairs pootling away on the laptop. So, yeah. I won't catch it because I'm eating curry while it's going out, kind of as it goes live. But when the wife puts Coronation Street on, that's when my earbuds go in and the laptop comes out, and I'll be watching you then, mate. We got Mississippi Blues and Eric Luttinger and Dudley Squat, and there's Sargi and Brad Dowell and the Essex Cat and Searching for Tone. Nice to see you in, mate. Go and check out Searching for Tone's channel. Any of you chaps who have got the little blue spanner next to your name, you've got a YouTube channel, feel free to just ping your link in the chat so other people can find you. We've got Mark Fahey. I know how to say it now, Mark. The first time out, is it Fahey or Fahey? Or no, it's Mark Fahey. He's in there. And then William Forrest, Jeff Bennett, Edward P, Bill Mumbo, and anyone else. We've got, I think there's Mark Gaunt and Zen234. Barry Riches is in. Nice to see you, mate. And Ravensmead, Paul Heath, and anyone else. I think that might just be... Oh, there's John Little. Peter Goddard, you're saying... what you're saying there, mate? I'll put you up on screen because it's easier for me to read. Just picked up a Behringer Euphoria UNC waffle serial number. It's fantastic. Yep, I've been using the Behringer Euphoria for years now. I've got two of them, one on this machine and one on that one over there, and you just plug them in and they work. Unlike other interfaces, that's the word I'm looking for, that I've tried. Could never get away with Focusrite. But the Behringer stuff, it's cheap, it does everything you need, and it works. What's not to like? Then we've got Ian Checkley and Jimmy James, and Paul Heath is off to see Big Country tonight. There's Nigel Arthur, Rob Garlicky, and anyone else that I've missed. I don't think so. I think that is pretty much... Oh, David Holcroft, Budget Pedal Chap. Nice to see you, mate. And tell you what, Budget Pedal Chap, let me just head off over to the other view of this stream, because I need to be on the YouTube view of this, and I will add you as a mod. And where is it? Where's it gone? Budget pedal chap, where are you hiding in the chat? There you go. Right, mate. Budget pedal chap, consider yourself a moderator as of boom now. And if you want to stick your channel link in the chat, then please feel free to do so. We got Berry, Carlo, Krautboy, and anyone else? Robert Forsyth, and I think that is pretty much everyone. Not the Hooples in, and Frank Brady, and I see I've got another super chat there from Edwin Toonan. Thank you so much for the good cause. Enjoy. Yes, well, this is the cause it's going towards. I think it's very, very important to support the Netherlands industries and the Scottish Highland industries as well. I shall be supporting them later on this evening with a wee nightcap from that part of the world. And I think that is pretty much everyone. Apologies if I've missed anyone out there, but I do like to try and get everybody in, but it can get a little bit lengthy if I go on too long with the intro. So there you go. Welcome one and all to the Beer O'Clock live stream. I just will start off before we get into what videos are coming up on the channel this week. I just want to give you a little bit of a cautionary tale. There's this fat bloke on the internet with a bald head and talks with a red car accent. Okay? And he makes videos about guitars. Don't listen to a word he says a lot of the time. He's talking absolute cobblers. It's me I'm talking about, in case you... I told you all, for instance, that these Legato wireless thingies were absolutely fantastic. I loved them. And they were just, the best things since sliced bread. Well, they're not. Okay. Subsequent use of them, since I made that last video about the kind of the range of them and what difference they made to the tone in a mix, has been proven slightly premature, shall we say. These things are good for one thing and one thing only. They're gone. There was a lot of hiss when I did the initial video with them, and I didn't notice it as I was in the room, but when I watched the video back, I did notice it, and then I took some measures, basically tweaking my noise gate and putting those things onto a different channel, and the hiss disappeared. Well, the hiss came back, and it would not go, and the only way I could get rid of it was to crank the noise gate up so high that it was just choking all the sustain off anything that I played. So I thought, I'm not having this, and I got onto the Amazon returns and went through the whole procedure to get to the final page where I'm told this item is not eligible for a return. Don't know why it is, but no matter how many times I tried and went through to like the customer chat and everything, and I'm sorry, I was chatting with somebody who, shall we say, that maybe there was a language barrier there, so I couldn't really work out what was going on. But one thing I did find out is that those useless, crappy Legato WS90 wireless dongles don't work properly. Don't buy them, and if you do buy them, don't expect to be able to return them to Amazon, because they tell you, I don't know whether it was because it was past the deadline for returning them or whatever it was, but anyway, it's just one of those things I'm going to have to chalk up to experience. I am going to go wireless again, but I'm just going to spend a little bit more money on something reputable. I'll probably go. I'm hearing a lot of good things about the Line 6 wireless system. And various other things, maybe I think Nuix does a pretty highly regarded wireless system. Yeah, lesson learned, as my old dad used to say, buy shite, buy twice. And yeah, chalk that up to experience. I just wanted to make a big thing about that because the videos are out there saying that, how happy I was with them. And I do feel a little bit of a responsibility to put the record straight. So there you go. Anyway, let me just refuel. And Heineken this evening. I think I've mentioned that already. Everybody get ready to type an F and an L and an A and a K and an E. Although this pour isn't looking too bad, it has to be said. The flakiest one tends to be the Carlsberg Export. That is a very, very lively pour. You get half a bloody glass of head if you're not careful with that one, even if you are careful. Let's see what I've missed in the chat while I've been blethering about wirelesses. Anton is saying Amazon should have taken them back because they were faulty within the 12-month warranty period. I think, if memory serves me correctly, I bought them through Amazon, but they're from like one of the third-party sellers on there. Searching for Tone is saying, try leaving a 1-star review. They might contact you and offer you a full refund. Kind of nefarious, but they may ask you just to take down the review. Yeah, that is on my to-do list for this weekend, mate. Yeah, Jimmy James is saying, I've got the cheap Locato for a few years. They're still fine, but I don't use them every day. Ironically, the cheaper ones that I had, which were the kind of ones that I had before this, when they worked, they were absolutely golden. They just worked perfectly right up until the day where they just didn't, and that was after a couple of years. Do I need a TV license to watch live streams on YouTube? That's one for... I don't know. I tell you that there's a YouTube channel who you could pose that question to. I sometimes watch his stuff. He's called Black Belt Barrister. And he is a barrister, which for those outside the UK, a barrister is, an advocate in a court of law. It's I think in the USA you can practice in a court of law and like in all the John Grisham movies and stuff, if you're just a lawyer. But in the UK you have to be like that additional thing of the barrister as well. But anyway, he's a legal expert and he could probably answer that for you, because I know he does a lot of videos on the topic of TV licenses. Rob Garlicky agrees with me. Black Belt Barrister is an excellent channel. Yes. Rob Garlicky, it's just search for Black Belt Barrister on YouTube and you'll find him, because that's what the channel is called. It's... as I understand it, in the UK, you need to buy a TV license if you watch or record any TV any television as it's broadcast, or if you use any of the BBC iPlayer services. And that means effectively we pay £170 a year or whatever it is for the TV license, just so my missus can watch EastEnders and Strictly Come Dancing, which I don't begrudge it. I do begrudge the BBC the money, but I don't begrudge my wife the pleasure of the two favourite TV shows. So that's the sort of situation I'm in. But anyway, this is veering very, very close to that topic I don't talk about on the channel, which is politics. So let's change the subject and tell you what's coming up on the channel this week. Megalock Gelly is saying, any videos on using the capo, key changes and jamming with someone not using one? I have done a video on using a capo, but it was a couple of years ago. Maybe I'll include one in the songwriting series of videos. That would be something. So, yeah, watch this space. There will be, something on that topic. Mott the Hoople saying, but you can return them, John. You're protected by the Consumer Credit Act, not fit for purpose. Ask Martin Lewis. No, you do not need a TV licence to watch YouTube, only BBC and terrestrial. Well, thank you for cleaning that up, Mott the Hoople. I will have another go. I'll fish them out the waste paper basket, and I'll have another go at seeing if I can return them. But you know, it was no joy the other day, apparently. Anyway, coming up on the channel this week, on Sunday, you're going to see this lovely beast, which is in joint gold medal position at the moment with this guitar, this one, for being, you know, my go-to guitar. Yeah, as you were watching yesterday, you'll have seen this guitar going through its paces, getting it the stainless steel frets fitted by the wonderful James at Agrajag. Yeah, as I said in the video yesterday, just another excuse to make some music with that guitar. What's that, Edwin? My missus says you need to try Bavarian beer and we'll never drink Heineken anymore. I have to say it's true. We will bring it the next red Carmageddon. Okay, I'm up for that. I'm always up for new experiences, especially when it involves beer. So yeah, Sunday is just the kind of quick little run through of that guitar with its shiny new frets. Then on Monday, the solo that I think from memory, and this is by no means a scientific kind of analysis, I haven't done a spreadsheet or anything like that, but I reckon Monday's solo analysis is the guitar solo that I played in more covers bands over the years than any other. Well, it's a Steve Lukather solo. So think of covers bands that do songs by Toto. What is an obvious covers band song that, by Toto? And you'll figure out what that is. I will just say that this particular song has two guitar solos. One that's in the main body of the song that was on the single edit. And then if you listen to the album version of the song, there's an absolutely ferocious outro solo, which it's not that one. I haven't had enough Weetabix to play that one. Carl B and the Rocco Cat has got it in one there. It is the middle guitar solo from Rosanna. One band I did play Rosanna in. We used to do the extended album version, but I just used to kind of do my own twiddly widdly bit on the end rather than trying to copy Steve Lukather. I got the first few licks. And then sort of went off on my own because, you know, Steve Lukather is Steve Lukather, and I'm not. Do you know what I mean? It's like, know your place, mortal. So yeah, that's Monday's video, the solo from Rosanna. Tuesday, Top 5 Tuesday. It is all about rock stars or singers. Let's broaden it to kind of singers of popular songs. Who have, because there's one particular person in the list who you couldn't really describe as a rock star, but you'll see what I mean when you see the video on Tuesday. Rock stars and singers who proved that they could really act in a movie. You know, that they could be, you know, just a leading character in a Hollywood blockbuster of some description. Well, not all of them are Hollywood blockbusters. So basically, we're talking about. Michael Purcell got it first. Sorry, Michael. I must have missed you in the chat there. As I say, I'm not Rick Beato. I don't have whole horde of Santa's little helpers keeping an eye on the chat. I sit here and blether, and then I glance over occasionally. And if I miss stuff, I do apologise. But yeah, Tuesday's top 5 video are my favourite 5. Appearances of singers or rock stars in films, as we used to say in the 70s here. Then Wednesday, continuing on the theme of the art of putting chords together to create, cool sounding chord sequences. We're going to be taking a look at a phenomenon which in the classical world, I believe, is referred to as the sonata form and has various names in the popular music canon. It's sometimes called pitch axis. It's sometimes called modal interchange. But my favourite term for it is borrowed chords. That's what we're going to be looking at on Wednesday. And then you may recall probably a few months ago, I did a video about solos which defeated me. And the one, kind of technique, that's the word I'm looking for, which was a common factor to pretty much all of them, was the fact that I absolutely suck. I am useless. I am completely awful at doing fast alternate picking. That's why whenever you see me doing any kind of twiddly widdly stuff on the guitar, it's always tapping or legato. I never do anything that is fast picking because I'm rubbish at it. And I finally figured out why I'm rubbish at it. And it was like a big fucking bong. Oh, I swore then, didn't I? I do apologise. I think we're far enough into the stream that doesn't matter. It was a big blooming light bulb moment. And it was just like, yeah, now I know what to do to fix this. So hopefully Thursday's video, if you, like me, absolutely suck at fast picking, then that video might be something to keep an eye out for. And that is what's coming up on the channel this week. So I think I need a wee beer after that. And why not a vape as well? Why not? There we go. Let's just scroll up the chat and see what I've missed while I've been blethering. I see we've got the lamb in. Nice one, mate. Nice to see you. We've got Anders in from Norway, and Stuart Young is saying, I was pleasantly surprised at Harry Styles in Dunkirk. I've seen the film Dunkirk, but I could walk past Harry Styles on Redcar High Street. Maybe I have done. I don't know where he's from, but I wouldn't know who he is. I know the name, and I know he was in one of those manufactured boy bands, but that's about as much as I can tell you about him. The Kemp brothers, yeah, they were good in that Craze movie a few years ago, but I have to say that the Tom Hardy Craze movie, I think, is a far better film. I can't remember what it's called. Such a good film, I've forgotten the name of it, but the one where Tom Hardy plays both Cray twins, just a standout performance from him. Ian Clark, you got it in one, sir. Yes, there is one particular singer in my list on Tuesday, who is a rock star, who is an actor. And Mr. Chris 5254 is saying Jimmy Nail. Yeah, well, I see. So I think of Jimmy Nail as an actor first, who then turned to singing, rather than the other way around. Because he was working on a building site, wasn't he? Until he got the part in Auf Wiedersehen, Pet, and then, like, once he became a celebrity, he turned his hand to singing and was rather good at it, has to be said. Yeah, there's a David Bowie, or Bowie, depending on your pronunciation. Is that a north-south thing, by the way, in the UK? Because up here, everybody says David Bowie, and I've noticed that people down south say David Bowie. And it's, up. I'm just going to say David Bowie because that's who he is, who he was, as far as I'm concerned. And yes, there's a Roger Daltrey film in there. Perhaps not the one you might expect, though. Perhaps not the one you might expect. Fozilla is saying, just saw that Toya is doing Strictly, so guessing Robert Fripp will be there, which will be weird. Still giving it a miss, though. Yeah, I'm sort of exposed to Strictly Come Dancing because the wife watches it, but it's not something it's on, and I got to tell you, I do have a lot of admiration for the live band in the studio. The amount of material they have to learn on a weekly basis, and I've never, in all the years that I've ever kind of been in the same room as it being on, I wouldn't say watching it, but I've never ever heard anybody in that band make any kind of an error, and really tight band under a lot of pressure, and they always deliver the goods. Dr. Gomez 1 is saying, yes, you've got the Roger Daltrey film there, mate, McVicker. That was one of the first VHS rentals that nowadays it's Netflix, and before it was Netflix, I suppose it was Blockbuster, where you got your DVDs from, and before DVDs you rented your VHS, and before there was even chains of places like Blockbuster, it was always just like your local petrol station or your local newsagent that had a video rental, kind of like those on those rotating carousels that kind of thing, like a bigger version of the thing that greetings cards come on, and and there'd always be like a few video rentals on there. And I think when we got our first Ferguson Video Star in the early 80s, McVicker was one of the films that we rented, happy memories. Anyway, searching for tone. That's a valid question, mate. Anyone here from Johnny know he was under the weather, cancelled his live last week? I saw his unboxing video of his new guitar a couple of nights ago, so I'm assuming he got better. Mr. Chris is saying VHS of Gentleman's Interests. Yes, I know what you're referring to, mate. Yes, indeed. Yes, there may have been one or two of those floating around in the early days, getting passed around. The Lamb is saying there's an interview out there somewhere where he says "boy" like the knife. Okay, well, fair enough. Peter Nicholson is saying, John, check your room wiring. I had a Marshall amp hissing until I moved it. Tropical fish tanks are the worst. You can buy a meter to check your room. That goes for everyone. That's a good tip, mate. If that hissing was something that was common to everything, then I'd be less inclined to think it was down to the crappy, useless, inadequate, awful, not worth the money Legato. Am I making my point clear enough? Legato wireless. But I'm just going to kind of. The thing is, for me, I'm not too kind of distraught if I don't get the money back on them, because that just goes down as a loss on my tax return, and that's just money that I don't have to pay the taxman come the end of the year. So I'll get it back one way or another. The Lamb's saying, tell us how you really feel, John. I think you know how I really feel. Are the readers' wives blushing yet? Yeah, it's time for that, isn't it? I got carried away there talking about my useless wireless system. So let's change the subject once again and fire up the selection of pictures that have been sent in by you good chaps this, I was going to say this, I always say this week, and it's not, because I just pick them up, could have been sent in months ago, but these are the ones that I picked this week. So let's just, there we go. So here we go with the first one. This is Chris Snowden's ovation. Well, we'll have to take his word that it's an ovation. It could be a Harley Benton because he hasn't shown us the headstock. But I'll take your word for it, Chris. It is an ovation. As you can tell, Chris, because it says here, is a lefty, a southpaw guitarist, and that is his ovation. And what have we got next? Oh, some more from David Phillips. I love the way David sends these in. It makes my life so much easier. I'm not saying everybody do this, but if you have the time, I'm just saying it would be appreciated. These are some of his strats. The first guitar photo on the far left is in dark Dakota red in tribute to Mark Knopfler's signature model. The Wilkinson bridge, normal single coil pickups, 5-way switching, and a Gilmore mod, which means you can get the neck pickup in on any combination, which gives extra tones. The second one, 3-colour Sunburst, is broadly based on a Stevie Ray Vaughan model but without the SRV initials. It has a Gilmore neck pickup switch and a second mini toggle for humbuckerizing the middle and bridge pickups. Third guitar in Butterscotch Blonde features you like that Gilmore mod, don't you, Dave? And 2 of the mini toggle switches for humbuckerizing the middle and bridge pickups. The neck and middle pickups are all 3 pickups for a thicker humbucking tone. That's when I start running into option anxiety, when I've got a guitar with that many kind of bells and whistles on it. And finally, the fourth guitar on the far right was one of his first home builds. It features Warm and Texas triple blues pickups, the Gilmore mod, surprise, surprise, and a second mini toggle switch for humbuckerizing the middle and bridge pickups. Only the true colour of this guitar is far closer to turquoise green than it is to the teal blue when viewed with the naked eye, but for some reason it always appears to be blue in the photos. Lovely bunch of S-type guitars, mate. And moving on. Now this one brings back all kinds of memories, okay? This comes from David James, and this is, I'm never quite sure how you pronounce this brand name. Is it Tesco or Tesco? Or even is it like the British supermarket, Tesco? I'm not sure. But this is his, I'll say Tesco for the purposes of this video. This is his Tesco audition. And the reason this brings back memories is because that guitar there looks exactly, and I mean exactly the same as my old Woolworths Top 20, my first ever electric guitar. I graduated from this guitar to the Satellite Les Paul, and from there on in, well, a whole range and whole ecosystem of guitars after that. But you could literally be looking at my old Woolworths Top 20 there. The pickups look identical. I remember that kind of roller bridge with the kind of slightly Bigsby-esque trem, and just everything about it just kind of reminds me of my days in the school music room, kind of plugging into the school record player, cranking up the volume and bashing out status quo riffs, much to the annoyance of the music teacher. So yes, thanks for the memories there, David. That one brings back a few of them. And then Derek Stopperton sent me some pictures of pedals. Don't forget, it's not just about guitars. In this, if you have some pictures of your pedal board or just particular pedals that you are fond of, then send those in as well. We've got a pair of wah fuzz wah pedals here, a Crybaby Daredevil and a Colour Sound wah fuzz. Yeah, I like the wah part of the equation, but the fuzz, yeah, it's like the appeal of fuzz just baffles me. It's like, how can I make my guitar sound like a Coleman paper or a plastic kazoo? It's just, I don't get it. And I think it's one of those things that if you have to ask, you'll never know. But if you like it, then God bless you. Then here are some of Mr. Toonan's guitars. I don't know if this is the full brood or not, but it's certainly an impressive looking bunch, isn't it? I think we can tell that Edwin is kind of a Strat guy. We've got a USA Fender Stratocaster. We've got a home-built parts caster, which looks remarkably similar. Remarkably, it has to be said, similar to a guitar that got this channel monetized. The Strat that Fender won't let you own. Yes, that video I did all those years ago. That would be pretty much, well, I don't know, I'm not really into Strats that much these days, but when I was into Strats, that would have been like a dream guitar for me. HSS, Sunburst, tortoiseshell pickguard, 22 frets, and, you know, kind of a traditional 50s style headstock, not the aberration that is the CBS era headstock. I think that Edwin, is an absolutely stunning looking guitar, as is the Yamaha SG700 next to it, which Edwin, I believe, has got the Seymour Duncan P rails in. Again, out of the whole bunch of those guitars there, that's the one that I would, if I had it, I would be reluctant to give it back, shall we say. There'd be, some kind of prevarication. Oh, can I just hang on to it a little bit longer? Kind of thing going on. Then you can tell what's next. The PRS Silver Sky. I don't need to tell you about those. Those guitars are very well documented. And then the Gibson Les Paul Tribute, which if I remember correctly, Edwin bought that because he liked the look of the one that I have so much. So, yeah, lovely looking bunch of guitars, Edwin. Let's move on to see this lovely PRS owned by Farjon. This, I think, is the Swampash SECE24 or something like that, but it's got like the sandblasted finish. And it's a very striking looking guitar. It is. It's sort of, and I'm not sure actually about that. I should either love it or hate it. And I think I'm coming down on the side of thinking it's a rather handsome beast. Again, the racing pigeons, but I can't really comment on those now, can I? Because I've got a guitar with them on myself. But there it is, lovely looking guitar. I bet it plays like a dream and sounds gorgeous. Because show me a PRS that doesn't. Well, the Vela, but played okay, but wasn't too keen on the sound. And then Len McIver's. I think this is I think you said 1995, didn't you, Len? This 335. Again, I often talk in these in this kind of viewers guitars section about just guitars that look the epitome of the species. And if you think of a 335, you probably think in terms of like a cherry red one. But if not, you're probably thinking about something that looks a lot like that, mainly because it bears a striking resemblance to Larry Carlton's main instrument for many years. And then we've got Malcolm Spillett's guitars, some of them at least. Anyway, we've got, what's this here? This is a Fender, obviously Fender Telecaster of some description. Then we've got a Paisley pink one. Oh, Paisley guitars, yes. I understand their place in the Fender Telecaster Hall of Fame, but it's just a little bit Liberace, isn't it, fellas? Then again, what's this one here with what's the name of the guy out of Jimmy Eat World? I think isn't that his signature model? And then we've got this. This looks like an Aria Pro 2. Or no, Peavey. That's what it is. I'm just trying to remember the email that you sent me, Malcolm. That's a powerful looking beast, isn't it? HSH and a Telecaster. Lovely stuff. Anyway, I think this is the final. Oh no, it's not the final one, but this one kind of sums up, what we're about here. This is Theme Tunes with his Acoustasonic wearing a Fatacasters t-shirt. So don't forget, folks, if you've got a Fatacasters t-shirt and you want your picture up on the live stream, then just ping me the link. Oh, not ping me the pic, I should say. jrguitartuition@gmail.com is where to send your pictures for all of these guitars. I'll put that in the chat in a moment. But that's what Theme Tunes looks like. He's rocking the house there, isn't he? And then, this is the final one. Steel Horse 75, this lovely Pacifica. Isn't that a good-looking guitar? Isn't that a gorgeous-looking guitar? Understated and classy. Yes. And I can't remember what you paid for it, mate, but I do remember you saying that you got an absolute bargain when you picked this one up. Beautiful-looking thing. So there you go. Let's just put that email address in the chat once again. jrguitartuition@gmail.com. There you go, folks. That is where to send any pictures of guitars or pictures of yourself wearing this fine garment here. I will once again apologise for the exorbitant cost of these T-shirts. It's I won't mention how much they cost, but they are, shall we say, at the upper end of the spectrum for what you expect to pay for a T-shirt. But out of that price that you see, I see about £8 of that. So the rest of it goes on just, the cost of the shirt and the cost of the printing, but so there you go. I'm not sat here kind of, just with one of the, those kind of cash counting machines that you see in Breaking Bad, because I'm watching that again at the moment, where it just kind of counts all the dollar bills going through. I'm not sat here with one of those thinking more T-shirts. No, I get a very meagre proportion of what of the purchase price of those. Just need to refuel, chaps. Talk amongst yourselves. So, here we go. Let's see if this is going to be a decent pour. It's another one of the reasons why I'm liking this Heineken, because it doesn't make me look like I can't pour a beer, basically. Peter Nicholson saying, got to ask how is Dougal doing? He must be growing now and hopefully will be settled down into family life. Oh, he's got his paws well and truly under the table here. He's about as grown as he's ever going to be, because we've had him over 2 years now, so he's an adult dog now. He's still as mad as a stabbed badger. He has 2 settings, Tasmanian Devil and Sloth. We simply, unfortunately, cannot let him off the lead when he's out for his walk, because he, like 90% of the time, he comes back. But there's that 10% or there's that small proportion of the time where he will just see a feather floating, because we live at the seaside, seagull feathers all over the place. He'll see a feather floating past on the breeze and he's off after it. And if that takes him onto a main road, then he doesn't care. And no amount of recall will bring him back. It's just... So he has to have extensive lead walks, which is what he gets. And then, to be honest, he gets his kind of energy out of him by... there's these Kong, which is a brand of dog toy. Kong make these squeaky balls, which are as near as you can possibly get when Dougal's concerned, indestructible. And he just loves chasing one of those around. And 20 minutes of... going mental with one of those, and he just keels over and goes to sleep. His energy does come in short bursts, it has to be said. But yeah, he was at the vets for a checkup recently to get his vaccinations and stuff, and the vets were really happy with him. The phrase they used was happy, healthy, well cared for dog. Mark V is saying dog training classes. Yes, it's just, we probably could, train, but it's just, there's that bond of trust that has to be there, that he isn't going to just kind of off. And I just don't think we can ever really kind of think that he's going to be reliable enough to, in terms of coming back, to do that. And we had, when I was a kid, we had a Jack Russell that was exactly the same, that the most docile, obedient dog that you ever met. Not like a typical yappy, snappy Jack Russell, really, really docile. But she was, if she saw, it was birds with her. If she saw a bird, then she'd be off after it. And, nothing would bring her back. Mark V is saying, Redcar Beach is huge. Can't he run around there? He could, potentially, but a large, big stretch of the beach is open to the main road. And, you can go like far enough up the beach where you're not kind of adjoining the road, but he could cover the distance to the part where it is adjoining the road in, faster than I could get him back, put it that way. So... You know, and the fact of the matter is that he's not putting on massive amounts of weight from inactivity. He's put on a little bit of weight due to the fact that he's part Labrador, which means that he will eat literally anything that's in his path. But he's happy enough, and the vets are happy with his condition and everything. And it's not like he's not showing any of the typical signs of a dog that is in, that's frustrated and needing to get rid of energy that he can't get rid of. Searching for Tone has 2 Labradors, 4 and about to be 2, picking up a third up. 2 Labradors, 4 and about to be 2, picking up a third on Monday, 8 weeks old. My YouTube career might be over chasing dogs instead of Tone. Yes. I mean, we always had dogs when I was growing up as a kid, because my dad was a farmer, and just dogs were part and parcel of having a dad that was a farmer. And then, me and Jackie have had dogs for 20 years now. And, a house isn't a home without a dog. You're either a dog person or you're not, and we are. The Gizmo Builder, just joining us with a pint of Old Peculiar. Yes, that's loopy juice, that, isn't it? That's a few of those, and it's going to potentially end up with a very pleasant and mellow evening, isn't it? Where are we? Mark Fee is saying, by the way, the PRSCE looks nice. It does, doesn't it, mate? It's I'll just gloat a little bit more over this guitar. Some of the veneer tops on the CE guitars, I think, often look a little bit wishy-washy, but not this one. I got a good one here. And it's not like I chose it. It was just like, okay, click buy. And that's how it turned up. Feel free to chastise me if you've already done this, John. How about a top 5 blues guitarists who play or played Telecasters? I've done my top 5 blues players, but let me just write that one down. Tele blues players. Top 5 Tuesday. That one will be up in the next few months. Peter Nicholson is saying, "Is it a curry tonight, John?" It is indeed. I took the last batch of Robson home cooked curry out of the freezer today, so I'm going to have to get me chef hat on and do another batch. If you're interested in the recipe, it is up on YouTube, although nobody else was. I did a couple of these cooking videos and the views just went off a cliff, which is understandable. I mean, it's a guitar-based channel, isn't it, really? So, it's all the guitarists looking and saying, yeah, he's doing a cooking video today, I won't watch that one. Then Strats, then Les Pauls, then semi-hollows, then V's. Yeah, I mean, you could probably easily make a top 5 list of, the Strat one. It would be difficult to nail it down to 5, wouldn't it? But my top 5 Strat blues players, and some of those categories would, cross-pollinate, because Gary Moore, played blues on a Strat. If you've not seen his version of Red House from that Strat anniversary concert, you got to see that. And he played a Les Paul as well, and I believe he played a Telecaster on the Still Got the Blues tour. So yeah, that would be an interesting one. Leave that one with me. And where are we? Yeah, Mark Fee saying, I thought CE's had a proper flame maple top, not a veneer. Yeah, the US ones do, but if you look at the headstock on this is an SE. This is one of the one of the ones built in Indonesia in the Court factory. Yeah, just at the risk of boring you with it, these stainless steel frets are absolutely amazing. Never, ever play a guitar with stainless steel frets, because once you do, it's like, okay, I just can't touch anything else now. That's the way I am with them. Absolutely love them. As I said in the video yesterday, they're becoming like catnip to me. Bill Mumbo is saying, did you see Thomas Blue at the Guitar Summit? Did you do a walk around? I haven't had a chance to watch any of the Guitar Summit videos yet, actually. It's been like a ridiculously busy week for me. I normally do about between 20 and 25 lessons a week. That's an average week. And this week, it's just, I think it's with kids going back to school, or have been going back to school, and people getting back into the swing of work after the summer holidays and everything. It's just really kind of took off. I've had a load of new starters coming in, and I was closer to 30 lessons this week. Lots of late finishes, and to my shame, to my embarrassment, I actually managed to double book myself on one particular lesson, which meant that I had to do a degree of profuse apologising to one of the parties concerned. But yeah, I've been ridiculously busy this week, which is why my day off, such as it is, Friday, has been long look forward to this week. Well, I haven't spent it doing it. What I've been doing on my day off, I've been kind of cranking out another chapter of me next book, How to Play Melodic Rock Guitar. So, yes, my sights at the moment are focused on. It's only October, the beginning of October. I'm really looking forward to Christmas, not because Christmas, but because it's a week off where I can just sit and veg in front of the TV. David Evans is saying, didn't Gary Moore also play Hamer guitars in the mid-80s? He did indeed, and if you read the sleeve notes of the Wild Frontier album, he gives a big shout out on those sleeve notes to Paul Reed Smith guitars. So he's played them at some point. In fact, do you remember there was that charity in the 80s, that charity single kind of craze? It started with obviously the Band-Aid thing, but it was like every good cause there'd be a charity single that would come out, and there was that sinking of that North Sea ferry, wasn't there? In about, was it 86 or 87? And there was a charity single for that on which Gary Moore played, and I distinctly remember from the video he was playing a PRS in that video. So there you go. Jay Aoyong is saying that's good for business. It is indeed. I was speaking to James from Agrajag because he was round here this morning, picking up a guitar that he'd loaned me for a particular video. Watch this space for details on that. And he was saying, he's just ridiculously busy at the moment as well. I'd like to think I played a small part in raising his profile. But as I said to him, it's better to be that way than too far in the other direction, isn't it? Stevie Mac, Rubbish Guitar Bloke is off. He's saying, bye chaps, have a good weekend. Yeah, I got to be off now anyway, because we're 59 and a half minutes or thereabouts in, and I've got to go downstairs and get the curry on. So thank you once again, everybody, for turning up and watching a fat, bald northern bloke talk absolute cobblers for an hour. It's been a blast, and I'll keep on doing it till you're sick of me. But for now, time, gentlemen, please.